Hi, welcome to the garden. It's not your usual setup that you see, but I want to show you what the garden's been growing this week. I've been building crystal grids. When I do that, I tend to build a whole bunch of them all at once. I read for 3 weeks and then I build for a week. And this is sort of the fruits of my work for the week. The other reason I'm not on camera is if you watched my shows last week, you know I took a dive over my kitty. She got between my feet and I kind of banged my head up. And while I don't have much vanity left in my life, I do not want to come out with this giant red schmush on my forehead. And it's almost gone. So we're getting close. So let's get on to the matter at hand about what you're looking at when you're looking at this crystal grid. This grid is for communication, and the way communication works is there's two major centers of communication, and then there's two to each side. That's what the graphic looks like. The chrysocolla, which is the big crystal in the middle, it's topped with a light serpentine. The chrysocolla brings in the vibration of empowerment of feminine energy, ancient awareness, and communication, which is, since this is about communication, I thought that was appropriate. And serpentine, the little light guy in the middle, is for retrieval of memories and building wisdom. The blue, these are very light blue. I know everybody's screen looks a little different, but these are very light blue. This is Amazonite, and Amazonite heals traumas and it brings peace from anxiety. And then the other stones around that are blue adventurine, and blue adventurine means opening them up to the higher guidance, third eye and throat chakra, which has to do with communication. And then the crocodile jaspers are these guys, and they're surrounding the green calcites, and I'll get to what those are about. But this calms the mind. This is a beautiful stone. It does not show well on camera, so it looks like a black rock, but it's a beautiful stone. It calms the mind and relieves stress, and it's a stone of wisdom. And the green calcites are for healing anxiety, balance, and self-discovery. So this person will start in the center, and then they'll build out and build out and build out, and they will create an energy web, like a spider energy web over this. And this is their energy for communication. It's going to follow them. And this is a weird setup because this particular individual asked for me to put it on plexiglass because she frames and has had a framing shop, and she has a very unique way she wants to mount it on her wall. So I found a piece of plexiglass, and I hope it works for her. But it's not that it's hard to stick things to it. It's pretty sturdy, but I'm really concerned about how I'm going to mail this to her. And I've got all the bubble wrap and all the other stuff you could possibly have to wrap around it. But I'm hoping I can get it to her in one piece, which would be preferable to tiny little chunks. Hard to put them into a grid when you do that. Okay, the next grid I'm going to show you is another one that's extremely unusual. The graphic from integration is a whole lot of lines, and it's to integrate energy. And what I found for this was, this is yellow adventurine, and it's sort of the center stone, the melding. I know you see all these big things around, but this is really the center. And it's to balance, protect, and enhance the flow of the energy that's going to be integrated here. Then I have 2 quartz pieces, and they amplify the energy and clear out negativity. One's a point and one's a little tumbled piece of clear quartz. Then these are the stones that fascinated me. And I'm so glad I finally found a way to use this stone. This stone on this side and the main part is rainbow onyx. And that's for happiness, good fortune, and strength. It means balance and self-control. So when you're trying to integrate things, you would think would be the element you wanted. That's why I pulled those in. Then the other 4 stones that make up the monolith, that is, if you could see this card, that's exactly what it looks like. Sort of mostly exactly what it looks like. It's picture jasper. And picture jasper has a fascinating, this is a picture jasper. It has a fascinating history. Some picture jasper, you can actually see landscapes in it. You can see little people in it. It's a form of chalcedony that forms those sorts of images. It's called a grounding stone, and it helps you find your place in the world. That's how shamans used to use this kind of jasper. And it also brings healing. It brings connections to the earth, along with balancing you back. I think that's a pretty good definition of balance, of integration. The other part is you can see them. If I hold them up, you can see them a little bit better. See those little black stones that are floating around there? Those are shungite. And I put shungite on here because when you're integrating things, you're bringing a lot of different energy, and it cleanses, it heals, it purifies both the body, mind, and the soul. And she's got 6 of those in here. And then the little star looking things around the edge of it, since she wanted motion and movement, those are rose quartz. Those are for calming, loving, and safety. But they're also to allow her energy to let go and let these new energies come in. So I'm real pleased with that grid. I think that one came out really, really well. Oh, the next one's very, very pretty. It's just a very pretty grid, and it's called Delight. And the frequency of delight is to bring new energy in and make everything glowing and warm and interesting. So in the center is poppy jasper, which brings courage, strength, and the willpower to bring on balance and peace. Yellow aventurine, this is big tumbled yellow aventurine. You've seen some little cabs that look like little buttons, but this is what they look like when they're bigger. This balances protection and enhances the flow. So everything that goes through this grid is going to have a wonderful, warm growth and flow. Then the carnelians are these orangey red guys around the edge. And I love carnelians. You'll see a lot of them on my grids because I really like them, but they ground and they direct spiritual path. That's why I like to use them, because they really, really do help. And they also have a lot to do with psychic development, learning to let your heart go so you can just feel, so you can know without fear. Then these little guys are sunstones, and sunstones lift fear, accept yourself, and create optimism. So that's really good if you're trying to find delight. And the fire quartz is on the outer edge, and fire quartz brings in, heals, hurts, amplifies, and directs the flow of energy. So there's a couple things in here that amplify and bring in together the energy. And if I'm going to sage all these before I send them off. So whatever I do now won't come through. But if I didn't have a wand, I'd just start in the center, and I'd go out to this stone. I'd go to this stone, go to this stone, go to this stone, go to this stone, go to this stone. Then I'd go to the next grid. Then I'd go to the carnelians. That's how you fire a grid up. I'm not going to fire it up anymore. But after you do that, when you put your hand over the center stone, it should feel warmer. I had one client who didn't feel warmer, but she said she'd already begun to see the changes in the intention she left under the grid. So I think that's really good. So that is the grid of delight. And if you haven't watched my show, I think there's one back there, and I may do another one. How do we end up with the grids we end up with? And it has a lot to do with a reading, and then we pull a card from a special activation deck. I just lost my tone completely. This is to increase this woman's consciousness. And in the center is a really cool agate. It's like a tube of agate that they sliced into pieces. And it brings body to the balance, balances your body, your mind, and your spirit to center your energy. And I thought that was great to put in the center of this. Then you see I have quartz points. There's 6 of them. And when I give them their list, I tell them how many stones are there, what they're all for. And I also go back, and in a letter I send with each of my grids, you get a numerology of why. 6 is a harmony. So if you're trying to work with your consciousness, nothing's better than harmony. But so she's got the agate, she's got the quartz points, and quartz point amplify energy, clears negativity, and brings in mental clarity. And because they're kind of pointed on both ends, it's putting that energy out and it's bringing the good energy in. These little shiny guys are citrine, and those are success stones, clear negativity and bring mental clarity, and that's for psychic development. And then these purple quartz, I have 5 purple quartzes, and I put in a fire quartz because I wanted, this woman in particular made a request to have some energy built on her grid. But the purple quartz helps dreams and visions and prevents nightmares. And it's to reinstate your trust. And the fire quartz heals, hurts, amplifies direct flow of energy, and it's an energy stone. That's what she wanted. You want more energy, find yourself some fire quartz. In between the purple quartz and the fire quartz, I have tiny little rose quartzes, little tumbled rose quartz. That calms and makes things more loving and makes things safer. And that means that gives you permission to let go. Feel safe, the safety to let go. And around the edge, she has 12 sodalites, which are a stone of communication and thought. They help you understand patterns and supports agreements that you come to with people. So it just helps you communicate more effectively with people. I put this on this bright, bright yellow background because I think it's very bright. And I think that this lady in particular would like a nice bright yellow background. Now, I've got to cut 2 more here, and then I'm going to close it up for the night because I really do need to get on and start doing some more documentation. This is the grid for allowance. And allowance has a lot to do with allowing things in. The allowance is you allowing things in, allow yourself to let things go and get things out there. So the center stone in this is called leopard skin jasper, and it's a beautiful stone. I really like it. And the power behind it is it brings peace and serenity from stress and anxiety. It's a peaceful stone. She's got a second one up here, and for the same reason, it's to balance her energy. So she's got 2 of those on here. She has 5. She's got, the mother of pearl that's on this. It brings higher goals by bringing prosperity and helping with mystical work. So that's why I gave her those. And then she's got 4 quartz points to help amplify the energy and clear out all negativity, because it's like I said, this is to bring her peace from stress and anxiety. This particular grid's going to be going to a young woman who is not in the United States. She's in the Netherlands. It's actually going to her sister's house, and her sister's going to fire it up for her here in the United States. These guys can work great distances, and that's what we decided to do rather than try to mail it internationally. She has malachite, which is an incredible opening the heart, protecting your aura, and bringing in synchronicities. And I like these little malachite arches because I think they actually match the form that was on the sacred geometry we pulled. The blue lace agates are these little guys that are around here, and they are for cooling, calming, and healing. And once again, I gave her some more citrine. I gave her some real citrine, and I gave her some citrine to help bring in success, clear negativity. So that's her. The citrine, you can see it can be very different colors. This is a solid citrine that's almost like a quartzy kind of rosy quartz kind, and these are clear. And so that's her grid. Okay, and then we have a grid I made for a man. This is his. And his vibration was he wants to bring about a project, and he's very determined to see it through, and it's something that's very close to his heart. So he got romance, but it's not the romance like you think. It's romance of an idea. And he has carnelian in the middle, which grounds and directs spiritual path. I put a mother of pearl on top of it because it's to bring prosperity to mystical work. And the quartz points take the energy in and out of that stone and amplify the energy and clears negativity. Then these are also carnelians because they ground and direct him on a spiritual path. He is on a spiritual path in what he's doing. Then he has sunstone, which I really like sunstones. And the sunstones lift fear, accept self and create optimism, and to keep going on the project he wants to work on. It's going to take a really optimistic point of view. And then he's got fire quartz, which amplifies the direct flow of energy. So whatever intentions he puts under this, that's what's going to happen with this grid. And I really hope that it works out for him, because he wants to do a project that's very important in these times when so many people are in need. And this is consciousness. That's the thing it comes from. And this has a fire quartz in the middle. Remember what I said, heals, hurts, amplifies, and directs energy to bring in energy. Quartz points again, energy to bring in and direct energy, amplify it and clear it. Rose quartz around to calm, loving, and create a sense of safety for emotional recovery. She also has some moonstone chips. These little guys are moonstone chips, and moonstones calm all response from stress, and they help with your health problems. I don't think she particularly had health problems, but those rocks popped up and they looked like they belonged there, so that's where they went. Then these larger blue stones are sodalites, and the sodalites are to end arguments and disagreements, help you in understanding patterns. It's a communication stone. In particular, the vibration I put on these is to attract new friends. Then she has azurite. She has 12 of those going around. And azurite brings wisdom, dignity, and spiritual mastery. And then she's got a whole ring of amethysts all around it, different kinds, some little tumbled ones, some bigger tumbled ones, but they're very clear, they're very sparkly, they're very bright. And those are to engulf and bring in spiritual values, meditation of spirit, protection, and to ground her. I think that's a very pretty grid. I like that one. I think if I made a grid and I didn't like it, I'd take it apart, because I don't think I should do grids I don't like. And the last grid we're going to look at today is realization. And realization has, if I lift it up, you can see it. It's got snowflake obsidian. You see how you can see white, and that's not just a light reflecting on it. There's actually white in the obsidian. And it's to purify the body, mind, and spirit. It removes negativity. Once again, the mother of pearl has higher goals, bringing prosperity and mystical work into her world. That, I think that fits. It just fit when I read her cards with what we were talking about. Then she's got an interesting display in the 6 petals I put around that. She's got these 3 are tiger's eye. You can see one's red and there's 2 brown tiger's eye. And the tiger's eye help with meditation and protect her from negativity, to give her strength. Then there's 3 pieces of African jade. And African jade is an energy for harmonizing the body, mind, and spirit. And mystics say that African jade is the hand of hope coming out from the universe to you. Then these are green moss agate, these tumbled green stones, and they refresh the soul for new beginnings. And yes, for realization. She's trying to realize a new life and a new way for herself to be. She also got green calcite, heals anxiety, leads you in self-discovery, and it's a protector of the heart. She got amazonite, which heals traumas, and it's for letting go. It's just, okay, that's the best way to heal a trauma, is let it go and let the universe forgive and forget and move on. Then the apatite chips, these are beside each of these quartz points. See them there. Apatite chips enhance creativity and intellectual, allows the intellect to expand from your inner self, and that's to expand knowledge. And the quartz points are to bring energy in and move energy out. So sorry about the dog. Apparently it's time for me to go because the dog's starting to bark. She's not a great believer in the spiritual world, I think, at times. Anyway, thank you for being here. I will be back next week. This is going to go up Sunday night. I'm going to do another show. I have about 2 more shows of grids, and then I will be and then I'll be back with my normal thing. I will also be with Andrea of Lilac Lantern on Thursday nights, on Thursday this week, and talking about some new things I'm doing. So that's kind of where I've been, what I've been doing. I hope my face is healed enough so that I'm not ashamed to show it in public. I'm not ashamed of my face. I just don't like the big red spot in the middle of my forehead. Anyway, y'all take care. And I'm glad that we had this chance to share this. Good night.